morning. Good chilly morning in overcast Sarasota. We are not used to this. I see all of you bundled up like it's so different. You look so different this morning. Everybody gained weight since last week. You have on layers, right? Yeah, oh my goodness. Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, where we expect the sun to shine all the time. All the time. This is what we're expecting. Oh my goodness. Well, I just heard that you were still a little chilly. It was cold in here. The thermometer is reading 64. So people up north are like rolling their eyes right now. I feel like this is a comedy show all of a sudden. So I feel like I need to tell us a joke about the football game that's canceled today, but I don't really have one to tell. But I don't remember that happening. Bobby's like, my game canceled, so he was going to be there playing, you know. Oh, it's postponed. Yeah, so. Oh my goodness. Well, sorry if you're up north and it's freezing cold. We're complaining here at 64. Yeah, but we aren't used to that. I know we're not. And you know, things happen in life that we're not used to or that we're uncomfortable with. At the very least, things happen that we're uncomfortable with, don't they? Dang it, just this. I know, and it's only the second Sunday of the year, and stuff's happening that we don't like. And here we set off to have just such a great year. Oh man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I don't know if you are. I don't know if you are at home, but I'm feeling it. So, we are looking towards this year for a grand rising. A grand rising. Not just a start, not just a good morning, not just it's another year, but a grand rising. And for us to have that grand rising, we need to tap in and know that there's something in us that's rising, right? That there's something in us, that an urge in us that we don't have anything really to do with. We didn't put it there. It put us here. Yeah. Yeah. And it incarnated in us. It impregnated us with all kinds of ideas, yeah, and urges and passions and desires, and gave us gifts to use in service of those, yeah. So to have a grand rising, we need to tap into that and not be too doggone distracted, yeah. So let's just start this morning in that agreement that is what we are here to do. That's why we come together on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock, whether it's cold or raining or sunny or blistering hot. I'm going to remind you of today in a few months. Because it's all God. It's all God. And so I affirm for myself right here and right now that, doggone it, I have the eyes to see that I have the heart to feel it, the mind to become aware of it, that in the midst of anything, there is a divine spark, there's an essence of life, there's unconditional love, there's something for me to hold on to allow me to rise yet again. And I affirm that for myself this morning, and I affirm that for each one of us. For all life has that creative intelligence within it. And I'm so grateful to be in community, to support one another in finding that and seeing it yet again in the midst of whatever we're going through. This I know is my truth. This I know for all life, for each beloved here, for everyone tuning in from wherever they are. That there's a grand rising. And I give way to it right here and right now. And I allow it to be so. And so it is. So it is. We have an awesome, exciting guest musician here this morning. Emily's back with us. I had to check in to see how her Thanksgiving was, really how how Halloween was, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Halloween.
I haven't seen her in so long, and it's so good to see her. And I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, great. Yeah, my name's Emily, Emily Frost, and I'm going to start with a song. This one's called Let Go. Drink up, baby, down. Are you in or are you out? Leave your things behind. It's all going off without you. Excuse me, too busy. You're writing your tragedy. These mishaps, you bubble wrap when you know I did what you're like. So let go, and jump in. Oh, well, what you waiting for? It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Let go, just get in. Oh, it's so amazing here. It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. It gains more than it gives, and then it rises with the fall. So hand me that remote. Can't you see that all that stuff's a sideshow? Such boundless pleasure with no time for later. Now you can't await your own arrival. 20 seconds to comply. So let go, and jump in. Oh, well, what you waiting for? It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Let go, just get in. Oh, it's so amazing here. It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey. 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 So let go, and jump in. Oh, well, what you waiting for? It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Let go, just get in. Oh, it's so amazing here. It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Beautiful, Emily. It's so nice to have you back. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Johnston, a member of your Board of Trustees, with a reading this morning. Amanda Gorman, the first person to be named National Youth Poet Laureate and the youngest person to deliver a poem at a U.S. presidential inauguration, was 22 when she wrote and recited this poem, The Hill We Climb, in January 2021. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet, the dawn is ours. Before we knew it, somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl, descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes, not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried. That we'll be forever tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare. It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy, and this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust. For while our eyes are on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour. But within it, we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the windswept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every known nook of our nation and every corner called our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge, battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Love that. So good. Yes, you're such a good, you're so talented. That's, All right. So I wrote a new song, and I'm so excited. It's been so long since I've written one, and but that's okay. Everyone has their own times. This one's called Never Really Were, and as soon as I wrote it, I was like, I can't wait to sing it at the center. It's about releasing, and it means a lot to me. So. What if I release you? What if I release all of you? The part that's out there in the water, and the part I hold here with me. For you are no longer mine. No, you never really were. If you're no longer in my grasp, then I'll have nothing to fear. For nothing I have is mine, not even my body. So I release the ones I love. I release the world that I love most of all. I release the air, the trees, the water, solid earth. I release unknown, the plans the future holds. I release the fear of what's behind me. And I am no longer in danger. And I am no longer afraid. What if I release you? What
Oh, wowee. Y'all have heard me say this so many times that I get so wowed at how when we don't control things, how it falls into place in just such an amazing way. Your songs, your reading, holy cow. Like, you guys didn't know what I was going to talk about this morning, and you didn't know that I was going to stand up here and say something like, it's the second Sunday of the month and or the year, and I'm already crumbling, you know, like, wow, right? How amazing your choices. Thank you. That's being so in tune, so intuitive, so aligned that we can do this thing that we do. I'm blown away. I'm so grateful. Thanks for everybody being here and witnessing and being a part of this. It's just so much fun for me. I see Spirit show up in so many ways. Just so grateful. It's a new day. It's a new day. That is the talk title for this morning. You know, last week it was a new dawn. It's a new day. I'm feeling good, right? There's an article in the Science Mind magazine this month that talks about that feeling that you get when you get a new calendar. And he related it to the new car smell, which I don't personally like the new car smell, but I love a new calendar. It gets me really excited. And I love a new notebook. A clean new notebook, you know? It's like, wow, there's so much promising there. And I have a new car, and it's new to me, so it's a couple years old, so it doesn't stink. You know, it doesn't have that new car smell. But my calendar is already so full, it kind of makes my heart beat a little bit. And I scratched up my new car and had to take it in and have the paint touched up already. I've only had it a couple weeks. Yeah, you know, so that's why I said it's only the second Sunday of the new year. And I'm filled with promise. I know that I am. And at 7:30 this morning, I was what I thought was finishing this talk. I think it's finishing itself right now as it's coming out of my mouth. So what do we do when we feel that way? You know? We go to our basics, the Science Mind principles. You know, Kathleen just started a class on Tuesday, and I started one on Wednesday night. And every Science and Mind class that we teach has the spiritual principles and practices in it. Now, that is the title of hers because it's a foundational, a jumpstart class. But that's what we do, always. It doesn't matter if you're new to this teaching or if you've been in it 32 years. It doesn't matter. We go back to the basics. We go back to the principles. And how do we practice these principles? How do I put that idea, that philosophy, that truth statement into practice? How do I live it? How do I live this idea that every day is a fresh new day? How do I really live that, right? That the now moment is the powerful moment. How do I live that? So spiritual principles, these ancient principles, universal truth statements. And we use truth, I say a lot, truth with the capital T, right? Truth with the capital T. But one of the things that I think that's becoming clear to me that we want to pay attention to is like a truth statement. There's one life. That life is flowing in, as and through all of us all the time, that I need to release. I need to get those false ideas and those strongholds that I have on the way I want things to be. I have to get them out of the way for me to really see that, right? And sometimes if I stand here and say to you or to someone else a true statement, it can sound like a platitude because what you're experiencing is nothing like what I'm talking about. That's the truth of experience, right? Which can feel very, very different than a spiritual principle. Yeah. At this very moment, there, I hope, thousands of people walking down Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, celebrating the birthday and the life and the legacy of this great human being, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah. The timing wasn't right. They didn't ask me, but don't do it on Sunday at 11, for goodness sakes. I can't be there. I would have wanted to be there. But there are still so many wounds and egregious, harmful acts of racism going on in our country, in this town, in our hearts. So we focused the last 2 weeks on visioning and burning the stuff we don't want, the stuff that's in the way, and visioning and writing on the white stone that bullseye, that word of truth for us this year, right? And so what I want to suggest for us this morning, and it won't be the last you hear of this from me, but at least this morning, that we talk about what the collective possibilities for our new year are. What are the collective possibilities for our world, for our country, for our community, for this spiritual community? What are our collective possibilities? I feel like somebody in here took an inhale and hasn't exhaled. Breathe with me. Maybe it's my projection, but I feel like somebody's holding their breath in here. The past doesn't define us, and it doesn't need to define us. You know, there's a statement in New Thought that principle is not bound by precedent. Thomas Troward said that. And then Ernest Holmes started saying it and not crediting him. I would have been kicked out of college for that. And what a blessed thing that I can say that about my beloved Ernest Holmes, right? That I can be real. That I can look with the T, with the little t, see a fact, but not condemn. Yeah. So the past doesn't define us. We get to choose again, always, always, always. And here's the thing, just like Jennifer read, we are it. We are those heroes that we're waiting for. Stop waiting for everybody else to fix it. I know I've stood up here and said that before. Doggone it, let's do it. I want to do that. I want to do that. Amanda Gorman, let us leave a country better than we found it. Let us leave a spiritual teaching better than we found it. I love this teaching, The Science of Mind. I love New Thought. But there's some edges that we can smooth out. There's some steps that we can take that are bigger and bolder and more loving. Yeah. On this day, I believe anything is possible. That's our affirmation for today. On this day, I believe anything is possible. Can you say that? On this day, I believe anything is possible. Yeah. In 1947, Sarah Flowers, who was a retired librarian, she was also a New Thought practitioner, a science of mind, a woman of science of mind. She wrote Atomic Metaphysics, the Electrical Principle of Man. On page 8, she said, this light as we understand it is the electronic. And because we possess it, we can use it for the benefit of all of us. 1947, she's a black woman. Has a bold statement. Has a powerful statement. That's right. There's a light. There's that urge. There's that passion. There's that thing. There's that thing that has never been defiled, violated, harmed, hurt, cheated in us. That power. And we can tap into it and we can use it for the benefit of others. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. did. He led a cultural movement towards equality and freedom and justice for all. Powerful man. Powerful man with a vision that was unfolding, that still, doggone it, is unfolding. Yeah. And he was a man not without controversy. Remember last month when I did the mystics all month long? They weren't without controversy. Most of them were kicked out of their churches and, excommunicated, and because they were radical, wild, new, progressive thoughts. Oh, heaven forbid. Goodness sakes. Heaven forbid we act loving and inclusive and accept diversity. Heaven forbid. Good God. There's a grand rising. There is a grand rising. There's a grand rising in me. There's a grand rising in the Centers for Spiritual Living. There's a grand rising in this community. There's a grand rising in each of us. So I think maybe we could celebrate and honor the people and the organizations in our community that are doing that kind of thing, that good work, that really good, wonderful work, where people are being loved. We've got modern day heroes, modern day mystics, and that's each one of us can be that, right? Stepping out with open hearts and minds, yeah, and open hands. It's a new day, and we're engaged. Friday morning, and I saw Megan Howe walk in the door. Friday morning, Diana and Frankie had organized so that Larry Wolf and I went to one of their new homes, number 11? 10? No, well, 12, 13, lots, counting. For individuals that have been homeless, that are experiencing mental challenges, right? And they are our tithe recipients for fourth quarter. Sorry, I should have had the check ready this morning. And we were there. And we'll be back again and again and again. Because boy, if there's something I know about Diana and Frankie, they are here to use their light for the benefit of others. And you do. You do. Tom Dieter does back there too. Because we were there with Becca, and Becca says, Tom's always there doing the roofs. He's so good. He's with you, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's with me. He's with me. In the Science Mind textbook, we read, we cannot be born of the Spirit unless we do the will of the Spirit. And the will of the Spirit is goodness, peace, mercy, justice, and truth. It is the conscious union with God. We are always in union with God. That is a spiritual principle. How do we live it? What's the practices? How do we live that? What does that look like? What does it look like in our homes, in our relationships, in our business? What does it look like when we come together on Sunday? What does it look like in between Sundays? Yeah. What does it look like? What's it look like? Does it only happen when we're in the lotus position? No. So, Sean Ginwright, the author of this really awesome book, 4 Pivots, he was the hero for the Centers for Spiritual Living. He was on the front of last month's magazine. He was the hero of 2023. And he's going to be the keynote speaker in a couple weeks at our convention up in Charleston. I can't wait. So excited. And I'm reading his book for maybe the second, third time now, going through it again. And he says, practicing ways to reflect, create belonging, cultivate vision, and foster empathy. Practicing ways to reflect, create belonging, cultivate vision, and foster empathy. We can build the momentum we need to ultimately transform our culture, to leave a better country, to leave a better spiritual community, to leave a better imprint upon this earth. So he talks about the pivots, you know. Does anybody play basketball, you know, pivot? Yeah. Just a shift. I actually used to play basketball. I know you find that hard to believe, but I was pretty good. Until high school, when everybody just suddenly shot up and I was still the same size as I was in 5th grade. So he's got 4 pivots that he's suggesting to us. So pivot number 1 has to do with awareness. Awareness. Let us have the awareness of the importance of lens versus mirror. Looking through a lens or looking into the mirror. Now, when we look through a lens, we're seeing out there, aren't we? When we're looking in a mirror, we're seeing our own reflection. Oftentimes, and there's good reasons to look through a lens, see what's going on. Sometimes it's to see the mess you made, you know, or the mess we've collectively made, so we look through the lens. But sometimes we look through the lens so long that we're pointing fingers, you know, instead of reflecting and looking in the mirror. What's hard in this? How did I play a role? How can I play a role? Personal awareness is such a really awesome thing. And I would say, you know, last week I gave you tools to start off this year really powerfully. And the tool that is most important for me is meditation, is mindfulness, is being able to be present to my own thoughts. And over the years that I've been practicing this, it is just, I mean, my world's different because I can catch myself. Sometimes before I make a mistake and sometimes right after. But the important thing, doggone it, is I caught on, right? Right? So Monday, I woke up so sore, I could hardly move. Really tight shoulder, this terrible, like, pinched nerve feeling under my shoulder blade. I could hardly breathe. I'd get this really owie feeling, you know. It's just horrible. And I had to go give blood work because it was 6 months to go back and check my cholesterol. And I knew that, you guys know, I brought my cholesterol down 45 points, right? I talked about that last July. Well, I got COVID in August, and I was out of town a week before that, and then I was sick for 2 weeks, so I lost 3 weeks. And then September was filled with a bunch of activities because we were honoring all our tithe recipients. And then my aunt died, and then I was out of town 3 more times. And then we had the annual meeting, and oh my God, I wasn't taking my supplements. I probably wasn't eating right. I stopped doing all my arm exercises, and I wasn't walking. And oh shit, the cholesterol is going to go up. It did, 23 points. I mean, I had brought it down 45, and now it's back up, right? I couldn't move that day. I don't know why, right? So I went to Louise Hay. This is days later. I'm jumping ahead. So I pick up this book because I'm like, I have got to start thinking about Sunday's talk. So I lay down. It's 11 o'clock at night. And I'm reading in the introduction, reminding myself about this. And oh God, I still have to prepare for Thursday night. I've got the practitioners coming over. I had a board meeting Tuesday night. I taught class on Wednesday night. I think this was Wednesday night. I'm laying in bed and I'm like, shit, I totally blew this really great thing I wanted to do for the practitioners. And now how am I gonna, I had this whole wonderful evening planned, and I blew it because I gave the lady the wrong date. you know? And I'm like, how did that happen? And she sent me the email. Well, it happened because I gave her the wrong date. Well, how did that happen? It happened because I'm bone tired, because I'm so tired I can hardly see straight because I typed it wrong, right? So I picked this up and I'm like, oh, I got to get something ready for Sunday. Oh, I had majorly effed up, he says. He's talking about he's a professor, he's a college professor. And he's mad at his students because they're not performing like he thought. So he's looking through the lens, isn't he? And he said, have you not read your syllabus? And they said, did you read your syllabus? And he's thinking, you impertinent little. And he was using a syllabus that was old. It was not a current syllabus. So he goes through this thing and he's like, I could have used my authority as a professor and told them they still needed to get their act together and just brushed it under the rug. Or I could come clean, and he came clean and he said, I messed up. I messed up, and I messed up because I'm bone tired. Yeah. So I had to tell the practitioners I messed up. And in that, then I go the next morning. So that was Wednesday night. Thursday morning, before I tell the practitioners, because I'm going to see them Thursday night, I pulled out Louise Hay, because I'm thinking, I know there's a connection to the shoulder. The shoulder's better by now. But I'm like, I know there's a connection. Carrying the weight on my shoulders, that's too easy. Yeah, well, I didn't write it down in my notes, but she said something like, creating pain and challenges because of your own perception. And I'm like, oh man, did that really resonate with me? Because again, that's looking through the lens instead of looking in the mirror. So I spent way longer on this first one than I thought I would, but I wanted to tell you that story because our ability to self-reflect, I think, is intimately connected with our ability to do good work in the world. Because if we don't know what our true intention is, we're out there trying to fix people instead of love them. And there is a huge difference. Megan, am I right on that? I know that's the work you do. You see people and you love people. And we can't do that when we're not loving ourselves, when we're not seeing ourselves clearly. So our first thing is do that mirror work, know who we are. So as a community, I want to say, who are we? What is ours to do? How do we contribute to a world that works for all? What does that even look like? I'd love to do some of that work with you guys. So quickly, second one is connection. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to go through that. I'll just bring it in another day. But I will tell you his fourth pivot. It's presence. Pivoting from hustle to flow. From being busy to doing what it is the Spirit wants to do through us. Yeah? Stopping the busy work. I hear it. I'm working on it. He said we need to transform our addiction to frenzy. I hear it. It's been my lifelong pursuit. I'm a type A man. I was involved in everything in high school, except for going to class. But I was in all kinds. I was in all kinds of, Camille's going, I know you didn't go to class. You didn't go to class. No, but I was in this club and that club, and I was doing this and that. So we have an invitation. I have an invitation to you. That we do this grand rising together. I will help you, like I said last week, and our practitioners will help support you in your personal rising. But let's do some really amazing work together this year, a grand rising where people in this community recognize us. And not because we're out there fixing and not out there doing busy work and not pointing fingers or blaming, but because we're loving, because we're moving from principle into practice, that principle that says there's only one life and that life is God's life. And when I look into your eyes, I see it. That principle. That whatever I want for my highest and best, I want for your highest and best. Yeah. Ernest Holmes advocated for this kind of thing. So one last quick story. We have a beautiful, beautiful church in LA called Founders Church. And it was finished in January of 1960. And it was, the architect was Paul R. Williams, black architect. I believe he was the first black architect that was accepted into the Society of Architects or whatever, right? And he and Ernest Holmes were great friends. And in 1957, Ernest Holmes said, hey, why don't you sketch something up? We need to build a big building. This is in LA. Again, in 1957, you know what, the race, there was such tension. I mean, just a few years before that, there was an effigy at the high school. I mean, LA was rough. It wasn't friendly. It wasn't friendly to people of color. So in the LA Times, they said this was a notable religious structure in Southern California. And what it was a round building. Paul Williams had created a round building, very avant-garde, very state-of-the-art. And Ernest Holmes said, we are building a round building to symbolize that our arms embrace the whole world. The essence is universality. The pattern is oneness. It is a new dawn. It is a new day. Emily.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Oh, blossom in a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn and it's a new day, it's a new life for me, it's for me. And I'm feeling good. fly out in the sun. You know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun. You know what I mean. Oh, sleep in peace when day is done. You know what I mean. Oh, and this old world is a new world, and it's a new life for me. For me. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Oh, sense of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, you know how I feel. Oh, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's for me, and I'm feeling good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Emily. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You know how I feel. It was lovely. And here we are together making our conscious connection with Source, with God, and feeling so inspired and uplifted by Theresa's message today and the music. And so it is time now to put into practice our belief in the law of circulation, knowing that as we give, we receive, and supporting our center, which in turn supports other worthy initiatives around town. You heard about one today. So it is time, if you're online, it is scrolling across. You can text, you can Breeze online, you can set up a regular payment through Breeze, and you don't have to worry about did you bring your money or your checkbook or whatever you use in when you come in person. But the basket will be coming around, and we are just so grateful to have this center. And this is our time that we bless the offering. So I ask you to hold it against your heart, or just intentionally focus on that which you give, your time, talent, and treasure to this beautiful place we call our spiritual home. And let's just bless it and know that it goes forth to bless and multiply, to do good in the world, and that we are supporting something that we believe in, that is the cornerstone of our life as we move forward, practicing intentional connection with Source, with God, with the divine. We are an expression of it, and we know this more every day. And let us sing our offering song as we bless and release our offering.
Thank you, Julie. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
Thank you. Well, we have a few announcements. One, your lucky day, the sacred garden has brought harvest, and it's right outside the door, greens for you to take with you and enjoy. And you know they were grown with love, and they'll nourish your body and spirit. We also have a cool thing happening next weekend. It is the opening day of Embracing Our Differences, that beautiful display with the gorgeous artwork and the quotes down at the Bayfront. And a group is going directly from here to go over there and in solidarity to celebrate and be there present for the opening this year. So I invite you to put that on your calendar for next week and show up and enjoy the experience. I also want to tell you about, we have a newsletter, and if you don't already get it, it's on our website. There are all kinds of cool things you can find over on that table, and you can sign up over there as well, I believe. We have classes that just started, but we also have spiritual living circles on Zoom every single week. So if you haven't signed up for one of those or checked in on a Wednesday evening, they are full of deep and enriching conversation led by Nicole or Jim, who is our facilitator, and you will contact Jim and he will send you the link. And if you want that link, you can ask for it. You can, there's a place to reply on the newsletter, or there is probably a place over there to sign up. Yes, there is. Thank you. Okay. And of course, last but not least, we have a workshop today. Many of you have already signed up, and if you paid through Breeze, that's great, but if you didn't, you can pay today, and if you didn't even know about it, but you want to stay today. Mandala Soul Circles. We're going to be making art, and you don't have to know how to make art to do this. It's just going to be great fun, but I hope it won't just be great fun. It will be enriching. You'll tap into something deep within and create something that you can look at throughout the year. And I will be facilitating it, so it's my pleasure to have you join us. We'll be starting promptly at 12:30. So grab your food, get eating, and get ready to have fun. And let me turn this back over to our beloved Emily, who is going to sing us out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm going to end with another song of mine. This one's called Rise, and the word rise was used a lot today, so I think that this is fitting. Once upon a dream of mine, I was by your side, and rising from the ground where I lie, I am quite alright. As the earth gives birth, she will take them away, down to the ground, through the roots they will stay. But I will take you to the places you knew. Somewhere you can have room. I wanna see you dancing wild, spread across the sky, warm with the sunlight. I wanna feel you moving by me as I look out to see where we used to be. Darkness, cure my unrest, and your strength, it burns like fire. I'm radiated, I'm what you created. 'Cause once upon this year, I was frozen, I was stuck inside my walls, afraid to lose it all. But now I don't care what she's taking. Command me in my dreams, melt away these seams with your fire. With your fire.
one of the important things, and that is that we have prayer support available for you. You can contact us through the website, and you can sign up over there. There's a sheet you can fill out, and someone will contact you if you put that down on the sheet. And also, Cindy, our licensed practitioner, will meet with you behind the screen today if you'd like prayer today on the spot. She'll listen and she will give you prayer. And so I just wanted to say that because it's such an important part of our community. Thank you for being here. Blessings.
Grace.